Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and this is a review of Beverly Hills Cop 4. I'm not going to call it Axel Foley. Axel left. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. What do studios have against just naming movies with the sequel number behind them? A goose. It just drives me crazy. But no, this one's for dumb, pedantic reasons. It's called Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. And I've been really excited for it. If you guys know us, you know we love horror movies, but the one thing that we love as much as, sometimes even more than, is 80s and 90s just old school action movies. And that's what I grew up with. I grew up idolizing, Mel Gibson. That's turned out weird at times. But no, Riggs, Lethal Weapon, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, like all these characters, I just grew up idolizing them. Even some of the Steven Seagal ones. A lot of them didn't turn out great for me. But in the end, at that time, this was my thing. I mean, I used to sneak around with this music in my head, pretending to be Axel Foley, like as a little kid playing guns and stuff. So I love it. But as with most things today, when you hear it's coming back, you're like, oh, okay, that's how it goes. I don't know. And this one is a little bit of both. From the second that this one starts, and it's cool that it's on Netflix, I've seen a lot of people being like, this deserved to be on the big screen. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I just don't know how good it would have done. I really don't know. I have high hopes. I do think that action movies are coming back. I think we're on a big pendulum swing for rated R adult movies in general, and also action movies. I think Deadpool Wolverine's going to be a big move in that direction. I think that's going to change Marvel for sure. But aside the point, I think action is slowly making its comeback. When I started watching this, when the song comes on, and I won't even say it if you haven't seen it yet, I'll just let you get it. Not just the Beverly Hills Cop song, but all the songs from the old movies, from the original movie. That saxophone hits, and I'm just like, God damn it. You can't help but smile. Like, with the first chase scene that happens, it's just, God, it's cool. That music's playing. Eddie Murphy's in his element. He's making jokes. He feels alive. He feels awake. Like he's present. He's there. He's doing the thing. It's very, he was a 10 out of 10. The soundtrack was a 10 out of 10. I love the opening. Because it takes place at a Detroit Red Wings game, which that makes me think of Sudden Death with like Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is a great movie. You should check it out. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but I love it. It's got that whole vibe. I love the setting. The way that they shot Detroit was really cool, I thought. Like, you felt like you were there for sure. I thought Judge Reinhold felt like his old character again coming back. Taggart, though, to me, there was an issue with several of the actors in this movie where it felt like they were reading. Like, when you watch like a low budget film or like someone's first time shooting, you ever notice how like the dialogue just seems a little bit off? Like, it seems like the actors are reading a script, or like they're pausing at the wrong time. That was Taggart in this. Like, everything and I hate to say it because I love him, but almost everything he delivered was just like, ooh, it felt like he wasn't there in the same room with them. And I really don't know how to say it, but no, Judge Reinhold felt natural. That felt good. Then bringing Surge back was neat. I love that. It was in the trailer as well. Obviously, he wasn't nearly as funny as he was in the other films. It just wasn't there. But again, this movie was just like a walk down. It was kind of a Ghost of Christmas Pasty kind of thing with that. The way that they had to find ways to interconnect all these characters again. The soundtrack goes all the way throughout the movie, and it's just top notch throughout. The action's fine. Like, there's a shootout in the movie. It kind of ends up like the other ones do. As far as just like the action set pieces and stuff go, which I really did enjoy that. Like, when we end up at our final set piece for the last action part, I was like, this is cool, because it reminds me of the other movies and how things were, and just kind of like how the dynamics landed. And I enjoyed that part a lot. There was some investigative stuff that he does when he's sneaking in and out of places, disguised and otherwise, that I really dug, that they got right. It is absolutely done with love and care, and it is a Beverly Hills Cop movie. I'll say that. The only thing that really, really takes away from it, and like, I don't think it's not rewatchable. I think it's rewatchable, but there's just some things that are really going to bug the shit out of me too when I go back and rewatch this. And if you look up who directed it, this is someone who's done like a couple Apple commercials. Like, there's almost no experience there. And I'm all for people getting a shot and stuff like that. Like, I think that part's cool. But in this case, I think the inexperience really, really shows in the direction of it. It felt like the movie had money. Like I said, the action scenes worked good. Kevin Bacon is good in the movie. A pretty generic type of, villain character for one of these movies. Just kind of like one of the senators would be in the old Steven Seagal movies. When it's like, I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator. the blood bank, like those kind of characters. I know that was Seagal, but the guy he was talking about. But Kevin Bacon's Kevin Bacon, and he kicks fucking ass. So it's always good to have him around. But it's super R-rated, and never goes to the point where you feel like you're watching a Farrelly Brothers movie either. Like at some point, someone calls someone a cocksucker, and it's like you're like, Dad, someone said cocksucker. Like it feels weird to be watching a movie on Netflix where people are talking like that again in an action movie, and it's cool. I like it. Like there's a lot of curse words. It's a rated R movie. There's good chases. There's good sets. In a plot that had to go back and tie everything together and also tell this story of a new villain, it did make the movie feel a little bit bloated in that sense. But those aren't the main problems. Those you can deal with for sure. I think that the main thing with this movie is just the way that it looks. And it's a movie made for fans, and sometimes that fan service takes away from this being its own good movie. You know what I mean? Like they're so obsessed with going back and hitting these nostalgic points, and like you like it, but also it makes this movie feel not whole, and the entire thing looks like dog shit. I mean, it just does. The cinematography on this is terrible. It's an awful looking movie. Like it really is. Like some people, they say when they watch Scream 4, they just cannot get over that like haze that they have over that movie. And this isn't the same problem. It just looks grimy in like the wrong way. I don't know if they were trying to go for an 80s aesthetic, but it just does not work. The movie looks like absolute shit, which is a shame. And it just feels inexperienced at times. It feels like if you gave... It feels like a really amazing fan film at times. The way it's shot, the way that they go towards certain jokes and try to hit certain nostalgic points. It kind of looks bad. Sometimes it's a little bit off. It's a little bit cheesy. It looks like they gave a fan a lot of money to make a film, and they made it out of love, and they did a great job with it. But I don't think anybody was watching this for like fan film feelings. So it's kind of all over the place. As its own standalone movie, those things really, really take away from it. But as living in 2024 and watching this and it being as good as it was, that's fucking awesome at the same time. So it's a mixed bag, but at the end of the day, I'll give it a 6.5. It is a totally watchable Beverly Hills Cop movie, and I even love Beverly Hills Cop 3. I like them all. So I just love him as that character, and you get that here, and that's enough. Even if there were some really, really frustrating things. Like, it was almost there. Like, we almost had nuts. Maybe in the next movie, they'll be able to maybe get somebody a little bit more experienced and change that cinematography, and if they do another movie, and it'll feel more natural, and that could be one of the best ones yet. Who knows? But that's my review for it. I love your all's fucking faces. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and Patreons, we'll see you Saturday night for a live stream fuckaroo. Fuckaroni and beans.
Hello, listener. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie? Well, Jay and Mike like scary movies, too. You should go and subscribe to their podcast, We Watched a Movie. Because if you don't, I'll gut you like a... Well, I think you get the idea. Enjoy yourselves while you still can.